Hey there, everybody. We're back. We're going to take a tour of the 210 Hancock Street building, which is held by Hancock and First LLC, a subsidiary of Ithaca Neighborhood Housing Services. My name is Charlie. INHS has decided that they are going to evict me from my apartment for basically complaining about the inaccessibility of this building. So some friends offered to do a video tour with me so that we can all see what I'm talking about. All right, so the first thing I wanted to start with was my apartment, but as I said, INHS is evicting me. So all of the boxes are in the way and I can't get in and out of my apartment in my wheelchair, which I need to be able to do. But something I want to demonstrate for everybody is that, first off, my keys. These are just standard run-of-the-mill keys that, you know, you get anywhere. But when low-income families are hampered by disabilities of all kinds, one of the things you need to be aware of is whether or not the disabled person can get in and out of their apartment safely. One of the things that becomes a problem with are these itty-bitty keys. If you have a tremor, if you have any kind of palsy, it's going to make it so that you can't get in and out of your apartment. You're going to spend 15 minutes trying to get your key into the... There are options now. We can do this a different way. This does not have to be the only choice. So we're gonna go inside real quick, literally just so that I can show you this. Our doors are all spring-loaded. Oh, everybody say hi to Inara. Hi, Inara. Who's a good girl? But when I let go of this door, it immediately, oh, and you just saw, because it just happened to Inara, the second you let go of that door, it starts shutting. If you are in a wheelchair or a walker, or you are experiencing any kind of paralysis that will limit your ability to hold that door open while you are trying to go through it, it is going to just keep shutting on you over and over and over again. Okay, let's go do the same thing with another door. All right, Shanice, if you could get some footage of that sign there that says area of refuge. I'd like you to take note of the fact that there is no Braille on that sign. There is Braille on the sign that says that, you know, this is a stairway. But the area of refuge is legally required by code enforcement so that people who are unable to leave the building during an emergency, such as a flood or a fire, can go to this area and rescue workers can find them. Yeah? Okay, let's go in here. Again, we have a door that I am supposed to be able to go through with my wheelchair while holding it open because it has a hydraulic system on it that keeps forcing it closed. Shanice, you're going to need to step back and get a bigger picture of the room. I want you to see how much space one person in a wheelchair takes up. The expectation is that people who have walkers, wheelchairs, motor scooters, everything else are going to be able to fit in here, while people who are trying to vacate the building to prevent themselves from being killed by whatever the emergency is are coming through here. Now, 85% of families, low-income families, have at least one disabled family member, and 63% of low-income families have a disability, like some individual has a disability. In comparison to a quarter of the population in the general population, and about 50% of households have at least one disabled family member in the general population. So in this building, almost everybody in it is going to be disabled, and most of the families like nearly all of the families have at least one disabled family member. Now, admittedly, they're not all going to be mobility disabilities. There's going to be people who have mental health disabilities. There's going to be people who have physical disabilities that do not interfere with them being able to navigate this type of stairway. But I'm one person and I take up this much space, even if I back myself all the way up into the corner. So I am as far out of the way as I can be. Imagine if there's 4 of us in this space and we've got 3-4 floors worth of people trying to evacuate through this stairwell. You got a problem. The other problem about this space is that INHS made the decision to put areas of refuge all on the same side of the building. That means that if you are a disabled individual and the emergency happens anywhere between here and where you are, you can't get to the area of refuge. You're stuck in your apartment waiting for first responders to find you. That means that you are jeopardizing the well-being of not only the disabled individual, but the first responders who have to stay in the building looking for people. They can't get to the area of refuge, which is designed so that they can be all in the same place and help immediately leave from this spot. The simple answer, like the really simple fix to this problem, INHS puts area of refuge signs and the intercom that calls directly to 911 in the hallways on the other end of the building. It solves the problem. If they can't get to that end, they'll be able to get to this end. INHS refuses to do that. They feel it's inappropriate. Yeah. Take a look. This area of refuge sign does have Braille on it. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it does have Braille on it. Of course, it's no good for you inside here where, like if you're in here already, you already know that there's also Braille on the push for help, but there is no Braille on the button saying push here. You just kind of got to feel around and hope you find the right place. All right, we're gonna watch me try and go through this door the other direction. Good time. So I have to be able to hold the door open and maneuver my wheelchair at the same time. This is fun stuff, huh, Shanice? You're envious, I know you are. You want this so bad. All right, here we go. All right, let's go. It's nice to have somebody else walking backwards. Okay, so Shanice, if you could take a look at the emergency lights up here. I've been living in this building since 2017, so it's almost 7 years now, and we haven't had a blackout, an honest to God blackout, until what, few weeks back now, 3 weeks back now. So these lights up here, they're called emergency lights. They are supposed to have battery packs in them that will allow them to light when the electrical current is cut out. This should happen no matter why the electric is cut out. So like in the case from a couple weeks ago, we just had a thunderstorm. Lightning struck a tree that was like a block away, cut the power out to the neighborhood. But these lights never turned on. This is a problem, and it's an accessibility problem, because I am a person with great sight, and I still didn't see well going up and down this hallway. Now imagine you're someone who's visually impaired and has to go through this with no lights, and everybody else is doing the same thing because there's an emergency. Okay, we're gonna do, oh man, why did I put that thing back on? We're gonna do this the hard way. I have an electric assist for my wheelchair, but you have to fight a really long time with insurance companies to get one of them. So I'm not using it because I want you to see what it's like for someone who doesn't have that ability to try and do this. My wheelchair is also specially made for me. I was fitted to the chair. It is designed to be as comfortable for me as possible, but it is still exhausting to push this around. And so if I have to push this further than absolutely necessary, more exhaustion. INHS made the decision to make this building shaped so that Shanice and I are walking half a block for me to get to the elevator and then go as many directions as possible to get to that elevator. So instead of being like maybe only half a block, it's probably like 3/4 of a block to get to the elevator in my wheelchair that I have to push. Hey, Kathy.
You walked without your wheelchair to the elevator many times, lady.
So we're gonna wait for a minute because we've got people that have not agreed to be here. So we're just gonna wait a minute.
You're darn right I didn't agree to be here. You are a liar. You
Excuse me?
walk.
Excuse me.
You
Excuse
don't
me?
use
Excuse
your
me.
walk-
Wait a second, wait a second. It's not
wheelchair.
about if she can walk. That's not what we're doing the video for.
Well,
You can
she's
walk
also
too.
a liar.
You can walk too, but obviously this building isn't set up for you. If
It
there
is
was a
very
fire,
much set up for me.
if there was a fire right here and you couldn't access this elevator, how are you getting
There
out?
is a phone at the end of the.
But that's not what
The
she's
phone, but wait,
asking.
that's not
How
what
are
I'm
you
asking.
getting
If
down
there's
the
a
stairs
fire,
and
That's
outside?
right. The phone is.
What if there's a
at-
fire down at that end? How are you getting out? What if the elevator's broken and there's a fire down at that end? How are you getting out the building?
Okay.
See, you don't know what you're speaking of. No, I'm sorry, go ahead, go ahead. Wait, I would love to hear what you have to say though.
I don't want to have anything to do with that woman.
So then why did you walk by and speak? No one asked
Because
you to
she's
see.
a liar.
If you, let me tell you something.
She is a liar.
What does she
I
lie
have
about?
to go see my husband at the
Okay,
nursing home.
that's
Excuse
fine.
me.
I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt you. You was the one that felt the need to speak. If you don't see if you say something you don't like, feel the need to stop speaking. You don't have to say anything. It costs nothing to be quiet.
So, as you just
Oh, excuse
heard,
me, I'm sorry.
not everybody in the building perceives this the same way. Some people are of the opinion that this building is safe and that it is
Until it's
acceptable
not.
for disabled people to move around.
Until there's a fire and she's stuck down there and can't get
So
out.
what? Just let it be
Wait, but
stuck.
that, I mean, ignorance is bliss, baby.
And there is the person who just was intervening here is under the impression that there's an area of refuge down in the stairwell that is at the other end of the property. Shanice, if you want to go down there, you're welcome to go take a look just to prove it to everybody, but there is no area of refuge at the far end of the building.
Right, so we're walking around the other side of the building, you guys. There's a light she's talking about on the other end. Ooh, it's pretty much the same distance on this side as the other
There's
side.
a phone down there and where? Where's the phone?
The little silver thing in the hallway out there. There should
Oh,
be.
I walked by it already.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, 'cause
Same
I'm like,
thing on
she got
Charlie's
me
side.
looking for the damn phone, 'cause I'm like, where the phone at?
same side.
Oh, wait.
There is no phone over here,
It's
y'all.
not, no, yeah, that's why I'm
On
like,
Charlie's
where's that?
side, it's on this wall right here.
Right,
Yeah,
oh,
she's
speaking of
trapped.
liars,
She's
hold on.
trapped.
Hold on, it's like, yeah, like, well, we gonna walk through the whole thing, don't
There's
tell lies.
Fire
Talking about
alarm.
phones is all liars, show me, baby. I got time. Like,
The lights that Charlie talked about on the other side.
yeah,
There's
no
no,
money to
no
mind your
phone.
business and be quiet.
So she would be trapped.
She would be trapped with the elevator that is often broken.
We are not editing that.
Listen, we are gonna edit that because also bump Karen. Karen,
That-
Karen gotta go.
There's no phone on the
There
other
is
end.
no phone.
I know.
She
would
got
be
me
trapped.
Wait a second, not you just sat here and called her a whole liar and talk about there's a phone and there's no phone. We don't need
Oh,
to
she's
find her.
gone.
Mom,
She's
no
gone.
one cares. See, again, that was the we'll walk the whole
So
building.
there was no
Mom, we
phone.
already
Did you
did
state
this.
that?
Yes, I got it on the camera.
Yeah, we got it. We're
Okay.
gonna do some
We're
editing, it's
good.
gonna
Yeah,
be
she's
okay.
gonna be fine.
We're just
Wasted
gonna,
my time.
Shanice did the work for me, so I didn't have to. Thank you, Shanice. went to the far end of the building, just to confirm what I was saying. The areas of refuge are only at one end of the building, okay?
Do you want to bank your life?
So let's go and take a look at the laundry room. Okay, so well actually while we're out here, let's take a look at a couple of things out here. So you see that there's this big number 2 here. Unfortunately, there's no braille or signage to tell you where other apartments are. So if you're a disabled person, you have to go looking around to go and try and find. Do you remember the first time you came into my apartment? I told you that you had to follow the hallway behind the elevator. If I don't tell people that, like if I don't tell the delivery people that, they go looking like halfway down each hallway looking for my apartment and can't find it. So now that's able-bodied people who have no visual impairments and are capable of doing whatever the heck they want. If you are blind, if you are paraplegic, if you need mobility aids of any kind, this is something that limits your accessibility to the building. Okay, let's go take a look. All right, this is our laundry and trash room. Like the other small signs outside of the public rooms, it does actually have braille at the bottom. And if you're visually impaired and get close enough, you can actually read the sign. We are still dealing with a door that has hydraulics on it, but no accessibility button, which means I have to take my laundry or my trash, I have to hold it on my body somehow while opening this door. Now, I didn't bring anything to, do the visual aid for that, so I'm gonna hope you can just imagine, again, same thing that I had to do the last time. Oh, yeah. That was me scratching against the door frame. Anybody need some flip-flops? So we are in the laundry room. INHS did do something really cool for us. They put a sink in here, so if you've got something you gotta rinse out, you gotta make sure that, the stain's cleaned before you put it into the wash. You can do that, but I'd like to point out that I am a tall person, and this is not designed for me to be using. This is designed for someone who can stand up and access this sink comfortably and easily. I'm a tall enough person that I can reach over this, but if I were not nearly 6 feet tall, I would not be able to access that. Okay, here we go. So now we are, again, this is our laundry room. We're supposed to be able to access this. I would like you to see like the space there is between my wheelchair, I'll get over here as far as I can, okay? My wheelchair and here we go, I can reach it this way, but now what? Like, how am I supposed to get my laundry in there? Which, by the way, I'm still balancing on my lap, because where am I gonna put it? Okay, so let's try this the other way around. I will go backwards into the space so that I can open the washer. Stay. Again, I have use of my feet, but if I had my laundry with me, I probably wouldn't. So now I can access this washer. This washer goes out about, I don't know, once every 4 or 5 months, so we can't use it. Also, if it is not, you can see there's currently an out of service sign on it. So this is the this stuff. I again, my vision is clear and I have no difficulty seeing things. But if you are visually impaired or blind, there's no braille on the directions or on the signage for how to use the washing machine or how much money you're supposed to put in. There is no way for you to tell how to use this machine if you are blind or visually impaired. You're just, I don't know, you gotta get somebody else to do your laundry for you, I guess. Which again is a liberty that not every disabled person has. Okay, same things for the dryer. This washer and this dryer are most frequently used because they are the closest to the entrance. People avoid using these because they are actually smaller machines. So again, we have a floor full of people. Oh, we'll show this. Okay, so she, again, nearly 6 feet tall. How am I supposed to get my sopping wet, dripping clothes into this dryer from my wheelchair? Because we're gonna pretend I can't get out of my wheelchair, because if I'm a paraplegic, I can't get out of my wheelchair. What if I have had a stroke and one side of my body doesn't work correctly? How am I supposed to hold that door open, which you saw I had to keep holding open, and put my stuff in there from here? Because again, I can't stand because half my body doesn't work because I had a stroke. Okay, same thing with the trash here. This is our trash chute. I gotta tell you, I love trash chutes. They are the dream. I have spent my life wishing I had a trash chute, and I never realized how inaccessible they can be until I moved into this housing. So again, people are putting their garbage in here, and Shanice, if you can get a close-up of this, there is like garbage juice all over this trash chute. People are having to touch this with their hands, and yeah, so, okay, so if I am a person who is disabled and I need to put my trash in here, I've got to have my trash in my lap. If there is, for any reason, I cannot use both sides of my body, I can't do this, because the second I let go of it, it springs closed. Now, people have brought to my attention that if there are small children running around the building, they might get into the chute and there is a trash compactor at the bottom of the chute. It is dangerous. Like, I want to be really clear about that like this is a dangerous thing. But there are options to this that do not require that you have 2 hands to use it, or that allow children to get into it. Like, they can be honestly as simple as a door that just opens with a baby latch on it. Like, that would have solved this problem. And they make trash chute doors that are similar to that. So why did INHS make the choice to use an inaccessible trash chute? All right, Shanice, if you back into the corner, that might be the easiest way to catch me going out the door. We will catch this when we go into the elevator, but INHS has asked the tenants of the building to not leave personal items out. But frequently, people in the building who have things that they don't want or they don't need, leave them for other people in the building to take. We use a mutual aid mindset in the building. People will leave cans of soup, they will leave clothing right here in this space. INHS has shut us down and told us that if we continue to do this, we will receive lease violations. And above Shanice's head is the security camera that they will search to try and find who it was who did the thing. That's the security camera that INHS is using to monitor this space. Okay, let's go. I guess I should bring attention to the fact that if you leave your laundry in a washing machine and for some reason you don't come and pick it up the second the washer stops, and somebody steals your clothes because INHS will not use that security camera to help you find out who took your clothes. You are just on your own. And they've got signage saying so. All right, how am I gonna do this? All right, again, no accessibility button. I have a wheelchair and use of all 4 of my limbs, so I can do this kind of, but what happens if you are not me? That's what I'm asking every single time. If you are not me, how do you do this? All right, Shanice, I'm shutting a door in your face, sorry. All right, so as you guys went and checked, I am correct about the fact that there is not an area of refuge on this floor at both ends of the building. There's only one area of refuge, and it is at my end of the building. Me and the people who live right next to that area of refuge are probably the only people who will be able to easily use that area of refuge should there be an emergency. Let's go outside.
Amen. And as we speak of outside, listeners, I was telling Mom about the braille, right? So we look up to talk about this braille.
Yeah, you guys.
Because I always want to know how a blind person navigates through life, honestly. It's my person, and again, I don't, you know.
If you don't know a blind
But,
person,
right.
it's hard to imagine.
So
'cause-
there's braille up here, and I'm thinking, what about someone who's blind and maybe in a wheelchair? How would they access, like,
How would they
this
reach
is,
that?
I mean, how would they even know it's here? But also because when you're blind, you gotta like touch everything, and so if we're touching everything, there is nothing. And then, look, in case of a fire, do not use the stairs. Look, here the braille.
not use
But
elevators.
wait, how do they find the stairs?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is what I said to my mother, because then what? Because
There's
There's
no
no way to-
signage telling you where the area
and
of
when they
refuge
run their
is.
hands all along all
That's
these
where-
walls, there's nothing.
That's where the sign should be,
You
telling
are
about the use of
Thank you,
area.
right, and yeah, but
By
thank God
the
there's hand
sign itself.
sanitizer.
I mean, that's the thing we need
Before
is.
this.
Because God
And it
help
should
me,
be
good, I
at a
don't touch
reasonable
everything.
height.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go back downstairs, but that was my question, because y'all was in there, I'm like, but, okay, and then what? How do they find the
Now
stairs?
what?
Right,
This is
how do they
so-
find the stairs?
Okay, so let's take a look at this. The elevator is probably the most accessible thing in the building.
When it's working.
Yeah, when it's working.
When it's working, yeah.
Which I gotta point out, the elevator breaks down about once every 6 weeks. And INHS is legally responsible for making sure that all of the disabled people in this building are able to leave the building without having to use this elevator. But there's nobody, you know, with like, I don't know, stretchers or anything waiting at the stairway when this elevator goes down to carry us downstairs. We're just stuck here.
And here's some braille on, 1,
On
2, and 3.
3 of the buttons.
Yes. 1, 2, and
But
3, 'cause
the
four is
emergency
off, yeah.
button, which is here, does not have any braille. So I guess you're supposed to just assume that's the emergency button, because
And I'm gonna let y'all do this part. right
Yeah,
here,
this is
and I'll
gonna
be
be so much
outside
fun.
Because I can't handle and tolerate this smell.
yeah.
Yeah,
Have
I
fun.
have to avoid.
It's awesome. Somebody left some trash out here. I don't know what that's about. But it's the weekend, so INHS isn't gonna do anything about it, unless somebody from the building does something about it, which quite frankly, since COVID, I don't go picking up other people's crap anymore. So this is our recycling room. Like all of these small signs, it also has braille at the bottom, but again, it is above wheelchair height. If for some reason you are visually impaired,
I told you we were gonna go to the elevator.
Yes, baby, much more.
come on,
Come on. Yes, I told you we were gonna go to the elevator.
it's all good. You guys are good. No, you're fine. Go on, ladies. Have a good afternoon. So this is the recycling area. You are supposed to, again, somehow with your recycling in your lap, get into this recycling room. This door sticks. So you gotta have the strength to pull it. If you have weakness in your limbs and can't do something like that, you're just stuck. Everybody's dragging their, like, you know, skanky recycling and the composting down here. Okay, y'all heard that, right? How it hit my wheelchair as I was trying to open it. Shanice, if you could come take a look at this door. You can see scraping along from other people's mobility aids scraping against the door to get in and out of it. Okay, I'm gonna shut the door on you again, Shanice, sorry. Okay, here we go. Oh wait, stay. Nope. Stay. Okay, here we go. So I am a disabled person who has a mobility aid that requires me to sit. And I have my recycling in my lap because that's the only place I can put it. I am, again, a very tall person. I am supposed to be able to reach this bin, hold this open with one hand while I put my recycling in it with the other. If for any reason I am unable to do that, when I spoke to INHS about making these bins more accessible, their response was they're perfectly accessible. You know what happens if you try to fully open this thing? So there's no way to keep this open without holding it open. Same exact thing for the compost bin, except this is actually a height that like most people could probably access. So why is it these bins are not that height? Yeah, aren't the fruit flies amazing? They installed a black light thinking that was gonna do away with them, but nope, nope, nope. So here we go, let's get the hell out of Dodge. All right, so I'm gonna have you just take a look at, oh no, maybe we should go through this door. Okay, so INHS installed alarms. You see that big red thing at the top of the door? That's an alarm that is like, in theory, stops people from propping the door open when they need to get in and out of it. It is also considered an emergency exit. So Shanice, if you can, yeah, we gotta get those doors closed. So this is supposed to be an emergency exit, which in theory means that anybody should be able to go through this door. But let's go see what happens when I try to go through this door. Oh, wait, while we're here, I would like to point out that this door at the end of the hallway, which says exit above it, actually has an accessibility button that has been broken for a year at least now. INHS has refused to do anything about it. I was the person who put the accessibility button on hold, so it is just holding the door open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When the power goes out, the mobility button goes out, the door closes, we have to do it again. Here we go. We're gonna go through this door with my wheelchair that it's supposed to be an emergency exit, so I should be able to exit it.
It's just a sign for me, guys.
Right, isn't it? Like, what stairs? There's no stairs here. Somebody went and like pointed that out and I just got pissed about it. So here we go. Oh, excuse me, thank you. So one of my generous neighbors has offered to hold the door for me. Thank you so much. Thank you. This door.
Hold on, Sean. I don't want to be in the film.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. We're gonna try and keep me over here. So.
Okay. I don't want to be in the film.
No, it's okay. Yep, we're gonna stay over here. So if you're back over there, yeah, you can't get back in this door. I'm so sorry.
No, I know.
So this is the end of the platform that has the accessibility ramp for disabled individuals. There are 5 stairways for the apartment area of the building that able-bodied people can use to get in and out of this apartment building. There is 1 accessibility ramp. And let me repeat, the majority of the people in this building have some kind of disability, okay? Shanice, when we go down the stairs here, I'm gonna ask you to take a look at the cement here, and I also want you to try and take note of how little space there is between me and the railing and the cement. So the cement is all scratched up here down along the side. You can see the colors from where other people's mobility aids have scraped up against the guide. My chair is one of the most narrow chairs you can get before you have to move down to like child sizes, and it just fits down this ramp. I have scrapes all over my chair from having hit the cement and the railing, both sides, over and over and over again. Okay, here we are in the parking lot. You might have to come down here a little bit to come see this. So the mobility ramp exits to the parking lot, which, you know, is okay because in theory I parked here, except there is literally only 1 handicap parking spot that is for the 210 Hancock Street building. The entire building, this parking lot only has 1 accessibility parking spot, okay? So there are 2 businesses here, the Free Science Workshop run by Cornell and a early Head Start program run by Tompkins Community Action, in addition to 54 apartments upstairs. As Shanice is walking around, I thought I would also mention one of the things INHS is really bad about is cleaning up trash off the ground. And while my wheelchair has grips on it, that doesn't always mean that trash doesn't splash up onto the grips and make them covered in filth. So that's not you know, an accessibility thing so much as a sanitation thing. But you know, I feel like they're hand in hand. We're gonna actually let's do the parking lot next. This is not obvious to most walking people, but there's actually a there's actually a slope to this walkway. So without me touching, my chair still goes and accelerates because it's such a steep slope. So that's kind of that's an issue that should have been really addressed, again, because there are so many disabled people here in the building. This is the parking garage. It is intended specifically for the people who live in the building. Again, 54 apartments in the building. They are all 1 and 2 bedroom apartments, but that means that there are not just individuals living in this building, but there are couples living in this building and there are families living in this building. There are 2 disabled parking spaces in the parking garage, bringing the grand total of parking spaces that are designed to be accessible to disabled individuals to 3 parking spaces for 54 apartments. Okay, we're gonna just take a roll through here. Something I want to mention is that for the first 4 years.